It is April the 13th, 2021. I'm Andy, and this is the Minorcan Mullet Report from the Golden Ray Wreck Site in the St.simons Sound. And we made a special find today while we were cruising by the 291 barge. We saw this cardboard box, and it was floating in the water, so we stopped, as we will, and when we see something, and pick it up. And inside of the box, we found a smoker's package add-on kit for a GM vehicle. We're going to open the box here and kind of show you the contents of it. And we've got some stills that were coming up. I was unaware that you could still get a cigarette lighter in a car. And maybe you can't in America. But we know that some of these vehicles were to be transported to other countries. So this is possibly an add-on for for a vehicle as an option. But inside it, you opened it up, and there's obviously an ashtray that fits inside of a cup holder. And then inside of the ashtray was the actual lighter, the cigarette lighter part, and the insert, and as well as a trim ring that would go around the insert. We looked at it came with instructions, and the instructions were pretty well laid out, and they were in English, and they did explain how to install the smoker's package into the vehicle. And it looked like you had to remove one of the power outlets that we now have all those that come in a vehicle for plugging in a phone charger or other 12 volt accessory. And the instructions laid out how that was removed using a special tool, and then this is installed. Just an interesting part. So we took it back to the marina, and we got some still shots of it, and then we boxed it back up, and we notified the Unified Command hotline debris number. We gave them a call and left the recording of what we'd found, and we left it there at the marina for them to pick up. We thought this was a pretty interesting find out at the site today. Well, out at the site, we still didn't see any cutting going on. They had the offshore block was pulled over to the VB 10,000. They still had some maintenance work that was going on there. It looks like possibly the chain has been reconnected, and we're not sure exactly how they did all that. Maybe using one of the connector links that we've seen before, which we'll get into that discussion again. The chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Wondering if the connector link is as strong as this new R5 chain that they are now using on the VB 10,000 to cut the Golden Ray. But it looked like the chain had been reattached, and then maybe they had some other maintenance things they were dealing with. Hopefully they'll resume cutting soon. Hopefully. But seem to be making headway. Just in another beautiful day in coastal Georgia too. The recovery boats, oil booms deployed, were on site today. They were working the area. This is on the southwest side of the ship. We saw the spud barge that they used during the last use of the grapple, and there's a shot of the grapple on the barge. It was there, not hooked up, but was there on site. They may be going back to using this device there. We'll see. We got a shot of the environmental barrier. This was also over by the 291 barge. Looked like a section of it had been pulled over there, possibly for maintenance, or they may have to have opened it up for access into the site. We got a little video here, just showing the 291, the dive boat, Mr. Ed there at the stern of the barge. Assuming they had ongoing dive operations to be carried out later when the tide was not running quite so strong. Now, as we pass by, this is the crane that they were using with the claw, with that grapple, picking up those cars and some of those decks out of the water at the bow section or the bow area of the Golden Ray the other day. They're back on site, just not in a position yet to do that work. I would expect that's going to happen pretty soon. And then as we were preparing to leave, this was going on back at the site. They had lifted up the offshore chain, and looks like the chain's still kind of going back to the VB 10,000, but they had it picked up. Obviously, they're still working on that, trying to get things back ready for cutting. Hey, it's free again today. If you haven't done it, click on that subscribe button. Send us some comments. And most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.